The powers and functions of the Supreme Court of India. The Supreme Court of India is the highest judicial authority in the country and performs a range of powers and functions to uphold the constitution and ensure justice for all citizens. Here are some of the main powers and functions of the Supreme Court of India. Interpretation of the Constitution. The Supreme Court is responsible for interpreting the Constitution of India and ensuring that all laws and actions of the government are consistent with its provisions. Appellate jurisdiction. The Supreme Court serves as the court of last resort in the country and hears appeals from lower courts and tribunals in both civil and criminal cases. Original jurisdiction. The Supreme Court has original jurisdiction in cases that involve disputes between the Union government and one or more states, or between two or more states. Advisory jurisdiction. The Supreme Court has the power to give advisory opinions on questions of law and fact referred to it by the President of India. Writ jurisdiction. The Supreme Court has the power to issue writs, including habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, and quo warranto, to enforce fundamental rights and protect citizens against arbitrary government action. Judicial review. The Supreme Court can review the constitutionality of laws passed by the Parliament or state legislatures and declare them invalid if they violate the Constitution. Public interest litigation. The Supreme Court can take up cases of public interest and protect the rights of marginalized communities, consumers, and the environment. Overall, the Supreme Court of India plays a crucial role in upholding the rule of law, protecting the rights of citizens, and ensuring that justice is served fairly and impartially. Please explain the composition of the judges in the Supreme Court of India. The Supreme Court of India is composed of a Chief Justice of India and a maximum of 34 judges, who are appointed by the President of India after consultation with other judges of the Supreme Court and High Courts. Here are some key points about the composition of judges in the Supreme Court of India. Chief Justice of India. The Chief Justice of India is the head of the Supreme Court and is appointed by the President of India. The Chief Justice of India is also responsible for the administration of the Supreme Court. Other judges. In addition to the Chief Justice of India, the Supreme Court can have a maximum of 34 judges. The appointments are made by the President of India after consultation with the Chief Justice of India and other senior judges of the Supreme Court and High Courts. Qualifications. A person is eligible to be appointed as a judge of the Supreme Court if they have been a judge of a High Court for at least 5 years or have been an advocate of a High Court for at least 10 years. The person must also be a citizen of India. Tenure. The judges of the Supreme Court serve until the age of 65 years or until they resign or are removed by an impeachment process. Appointment process. The appointment of judges to the Supreme Court is a collaborative process between the executive and the judiciary. The executive recommends names to the judiciary, which then conducts an extensive process of consultation and scrutiny before making the final recommendation to the President. Overall, the composition of judges in the Supreme Court of India reflects a balance of legal expertise, experience, and diversity, which are critical to ensuring that justice is served impartially and fairly. What are the provisions mentioned in the Constitution of India about the Supreme Court of India? The Constitution of India contains several provisions related to the Supreme Court of India. Here are some of the key provisions. Establishment. The Supreme Court of India was established under Article 124 of the Constitution of India. Composition. Article 124 also specifies that the Supreme Court shall consist of a Chief Justice of India and such number of other judges as determined by Parliament. Appointment. Article 124A provides for the establishment of a National Judicial Appointments Commission to appoint judges of the Supreme Court and High Courts. However, this provision was struck down by the Supreme Court in 2015, and the previous process of appointment by a collegium of judges was restored. Jurisdiction. Article 131 grants original jurisdiction to the Supreme Court in disputes between the Union government and one or more states or between two or more states. The Supreme Court also has appellate jurisdiction over all civil and criminal cases. Powers. Article 142 gives the Supreme Court the power to pass any order necessary for doing complete justice in any matter pending before it. Writ jurisdiction. Article 32 provides for the Supreme Court's power to issue writs, including habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, and quo warranto, for the enforcement of fundamental rights. Impeachment, Article 124(4) lays down the procedure for the removal of a judge of the Supreme Court through impeachment by Parliament. Overall, the Constitution of India provides a comprehensive framework for the establishment, composition, and functioning of the Supreme Court of India, which is critical to upholding the rule of law and ensuring justice for all citizens. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos.